Vladimirski. Ryan Weir is half the man he used to be, thankfully.
TVT News, back with another episode. Got a sick guest with us today. Not sick because he's sick, but sick because he's awesome. Rob Costamaris.
Yeah, you got it right.
Got it? I nailed it.
Got it, yeah. But you lied when you said I was sick, so, you know, I don't know where to go with that.
I had a lot of practice with long last names. You know, the names such as mine. I fuck my own name up all the time.
Yeah.
What's up, man?
How are you?
How's it going,
Thanks,
Rob?
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
It's our pleasure.
Welcome.
Yeah.
There's no pressure.
I don't feel any pressure.
Zero?
Maybe
You
a little
should.
bit.
You should
I am
feel
on
a
the
lot of
casting
pressure.
couch, so you never
This
know.
is the casting
Yeah.
couch. Finally, somebody said it. That's not me.
Yeah.
Joe Lackey was on this couch.
Yeah, I know. He sat here. That's why I'm sitting here. I don't
Oh,
wanna
yeah. You don't know what's under
spoil
there.
his spot.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
This is going to be a clip right there. So tell us about you, man. How did you get to where you are today? What's your story?
Yeah, I don't know. I just showed up, drove my car here, and now I'm here.
Yeah. All right. I guess the episode's over then.
Okay. We'll talk.
Thanks for coming.
All right, guys. See you next time.
So, how did we get here? I started out 20 years on Wall Street.
That's fun.
Yeah, it was even funner. I was
Yeah.
a wedding DJ. So, I don't know if you guys
On
ever
Wall
see.
Street?
No, not on Wall Street. You guys ever see there's a Charter Financial Analyst commercial out there?
Sure.
And it says, our guys go through the right training. We don't just go from DJing to being a stockbroker. I wanted to sue them for defamation of character because I did that. I was a wedding DJ, and then I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I said, you know what? I got to get a real job. This is not working for me, although I was having a blast doing it, making a lot of money doing it at the time.
DJ Khaled would disagree with you that it's not a real job.
Well, he makes a little bit more money than I was making. I mean, probably not much discrepancy, but I would have to say the money I was making probably doesn't equate to his taxes. Let's just put it that way. But I was, I think I started when I was 18 to 21-ish.
Okay.
Went on to Wall Street, worked there, went from stockbroker, financial advisor. Then a couple of us started our own securities firm. Started off as a broker-dealer. Broker-dealer is just what sells securities, stocks, bonds, stuff like that. It's more transactional. A gentleman and I started an insurance division, and I think we started that in 2011. The insurance division was 2013-ish, and then in 2015 we started the RIA, which is the managed assets portion. It's more what I say we were a real firm, but bigger firms always move to because you get bigger assets and you could have some real people. And then through the pandemic, I went through some changes. I was unhappy with
Kind of changes.
I just put a post up how I read Living with a Seal for 30 Days.
Uh-huh.
So I had segued out of selling. I was managing. We had 150 reps through 5 different states. I was trying to manage all the reps and, manage the day-to-day business. I was a go-between between the sales guys and the senior partners of the firm, and I was always getting ready. I mean, you own a real estate agency, so I can imagine what you go through the same way dealing with sales guys. Sorry, no offense to you. Me being one of them, also, it's a high, very high touch business, if you will.
Yeah.
And I was getting a salary. I was getting a bonus for the first time in like 15 years. So I felt like I wouldn't say bored, but I was just a rat in a race, I guess you could say.
So, but back on Wall Street.
Yeah.
From the movies.
Yeah.
Working on Wall Street seems pretty fucking
Oh,
fun.
yeah. It is.
Accurate?
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Wolf of Wall Street? Accurate?
Yeah.
Pretty.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You did the chest pounding?
No chest pounding, but some
blow.
crazy stuff. No. I never. No, I
Martini.
got through all that prior to my Wall Street days.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm not going to say that it wasn't there.
Martinis at 8:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Whatever
yeah.
gets you going. Some people
Never-
drink coffee. Some
Rarely
people drink
martinis.
vodka.
It wasn't that bougie, but yeah.
Straight vodka.
I mean, listen, whatever. Tequila was our version.
For breakfast?
There was one time for breakfast. Yeah.
So if there's tequila for breakfast, what's for lunch and dinner?
Nah, it was kind
Cocaine.
of like it was like I wouldn't even say gradual process. It was just a straight through. I mean, there was lunches that just didn't end.
Dude, let's just go right now.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean, it's almost lunch anyway, so we'd be good.
Yeah,
for
why
that.
not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, Wall Street was It was fun. It was fun. It definitely, one thing I say that I wouldn't say it created me, but it definitely brought something out of me. It gave me a lot of confidence. Like a lot of people talk about cold calling and how bad it is. And I mean, I know you guys do it or did it or at one point. I say that it builds such a confidence in you. And when I speak to business owners, and I'm talking people who just run normal businesses, not ones where you think they do cold calling. And I'm going to say a good amount of them started out in some way, shape, or form doing some sort of cold calling. And like it brought out I hated every minute of it, but it brought out such a confidence in me just calling people and just getting hung up on every 5 minutes.
I feel the same way. I mean, I've been cold calling for about 5 years now, and I still do it occasionally. It's not my main form of lead generation, but I still do it. I love getting hung up on.
Yeah.
Like I actually thrive on it.
Yeah.
And I think the best thing that ever happened to me when I was cold calling one time, this was like a $2 million listing in Riverdale. I cold called him. And I said, hi, this is Roman. I'm with whatever firm I was with. And this, I just wanted to see if you were interested in reselling your house, and it was on the market, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, no, I'm not interested in selling it.
So can I just cut you off right there? When you cold call, who are you calling?
Expired listings.
Okay. And what is an expired listing?
So a listing that's been on the market for X amount of time, but it didn't sell. The previous, so they're pissed off in general.
Yeah.
They've been
rejected.
I'm
also asking for a reason. I'm going to get to that in a second.
All right.
Ooh, I like this.
Yeah, he's practicing for his own podcast, right?
No.
No, I'm just fucking with you. So they're pissed off. They're rejected. I said, so sir, like, what is there a particular reason why you don't want to sell your home? His response, the best response I've ever heard in my life. Because I'm rich, bitch. And he hung up the phone.
Yeah.
The best cold call ever.
Yeah.
You probably hung over like, that guy's actually the
I
man.
was like, yo, this is great.
Yeah, I had a guy.
My job.
I had a guy. So you're calling expired listings. So you have some idea that the people are or were looking to sell, right?
They've raised their hand.
Right. It's not like you're just like, hey, you want to sell your house?
Right.
No. It's why would you think I want to sell my house? When you call on Wall Street, you're literally calling investor leads, but it's just business owners who do a certain amount of money of sales a year, where they are, how many employees they have, things of that. So they don't really want to buy stock.
So what makes them a lead? Just their sales?
Just the fact that their sales in their business, the amount of employees they have, and that's about it.
That's wild.
So it's basically just calling out of the phone book. So you're calling them and you're trying to find out if they want to buy stock. And you're just going by the percentages that are out there and how many people own stock, and it's a large
So it looks like these guys have money. Let's call them.
Yeah, that's basically it. So just imagine the stuff we hear. So going off of what you
That
say
sucks.
about, and I had this one guy, and it was late at night, and he picks up. He's like, "What do you want?" Something like that, and I was like, "Hey, Rob Costamiris with so and so. I have nothing for you right now. I want to call you tomorrow with the next recommendation in the stock market. Well, if you got something, give it to me right now." I'm like, "No, I don't have it." And going back and forth, and he's like staying on the phone with me. And he's like, "No, I'm not interested." I'm like, hold on. Why aren't you interested? And he's like, "You know why I'm not interested? Because I could lose $1 million, which I have in stock right now, and it wouldn't affect me at all. I don't need you." And he hangs up on me. I think it was 22 or something like that. And I hang up the phone. I was like, this guy could lose $1 million and it doesn't even affect him. I was like, Jesus Christ, how rich are these people?
Let's call him back.
I'm like, I gotta get this guy. Meanwhile, the guy was not interested at all.
That's crazy.
That was my first real taste of money that's out there, because I had zero clue.
Well, it just proves that us people that are in sales, we're sick individuals.
Oh yeah, you definitely.
We love rejection and we just keep going for more.
Oh yeah.
And I agree. It definitely builds confidence. When you do the cold calling, you might not like it while you're doing it, but you also feel like you can, as you have more conversations over the years, you just have a quicker response.
Resilience.
And you just know what to say to people.
But I also tell guys that come onto my team, I'm like, have fun with it. Just as annoying as it is, have fun.
You know what's worse than cold calling this kid used to do? Door
knocking on
knocked.
doors. Yeah.
Oh my God. I couldn't do it.
That's aggressive. How do you do that?
I'm more of a face-to-face kind of guy. So actually, it's not that bad. Obviously, if they slam a door in your face, you just turn around and say, all right, next one.
But are you getting the, go for
you
yourselves? Can I say that on here? Go
You
fuck
can
yourself?
say whatever the fuck you want.
Nice. There we go.
I've had people yell through the door. They didn't physically open the door.
They don't even have the energy to open the door.
Yeah, I'll never forget one in New Rochelle, actually. And this she was older. She probably just, for security reasons, she just felt weird. And she just yelled at me at the door. She's like, "Go away." And just flipped out on me. And I was like, all right. And just walked away.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Just deal with it. It's not like I know them, so I don't take it personal.
Yeah. I think it's Edward Jones. That's all they started off doing was door knocking.
Door knocking.
Yeah. Now they go business to business, so they'll walk into your business. But
See, but that's, I think, less weird. Walking into a business.
yeah, now,
Than going to
but
someone's
it's
private
no.
home.
It started off
Yeah.
like they would go out. Like I think it's like their thing was like 3:30. Don't quote me on this. I was recruited to go there, and this is what they're explaining to me.
Right.
I think it's like 3:30 to like 7:30 or something like that. They'll walk the neighborhood where their office is, knocking on doors and, hey, how you doing? I was like, wow, this is aggressive. But it is harder to turn people down in person. It's harder to say no to somebody, especially if you like them. And did you find that or no? Do you find you got less?
Yeah, I got actually
Aggression?
right before my mom actually bought a house back in 2018. That was like one of my first listings that I was just caught the guy actually outside, and he was shoveling his driveway, and then I just started talking to him. Then I actually helped him, and then 3 days later he listed his home with me.
That's good.
That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's
so I was
nice.
like, door knocking kind of works. I was like, I
Yeah.
could do this.
I hate door knocking, but
Have you done it?
I've knocked on one door
Yeah.
and I got the one listing. I'm 1 for 1 and I'm never doing it.
I
again.
mean,
Sorry.
and I could see the drop the mic thing, but
Yeah.
I mean, if that was
Done.
me, I'd be like, I gotta do this more.
No, sorry. Plus, I'm lazy. I don't like walking. It's a whole big
Yeah,
sweating in the summer. Forget it. I won't do it.
I will say the summertime that's a brutal time to do it. It's not fun.
yeah.
If you listen to any of our previous podcasts, you know I don't like to sweat at all.
Just go out like Joey the lawyer and put your jorts on.
That's why I wear jorts because I sweat through
Oh, you
everything
wear
else.
them too.
Oh, I'm a jorts
Oh,
guy.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm a
he-
jorts promoter.
Thank God I'm on this side of the couch.
Big fan. You don't wear jorts either?
No.
This should be a question we ask everybody on here. Jorts,
Should
no
be your
jorts.
thing, yeah.
Yeah, no
I like
jorts.
I'm gonna say that a large portion of the population is gonna say no to that.
See, I think they're gonna say no because they're on air. Privately, everybody wears jorts.
That's a little weird then.
Jorts is one thing, but he has like the frayed jorts where it's like got
See,
the-
I'm more for that than I am for the seams and everything. It's I'd rather like see you like cut a pair of jeans and be like, all right, let's go.
But they're not like short jorts. They're regular.
Yeah, whatever. Daisy Dukes.
Whatever.
Daisy Dukes. Oh my god, it's great.
Yeah.
Oh man. So you have a family. Tell us about your family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, got a wife, 2 kids. My
2 kids.
daughter is 13, gonna be 14 in about 10 days.
Oh,
My
shit.
son's 11, gonna be 12 in a month.
What am I in for?
Craziness,
No.
definite craziness. Yeah, it's
I'm
fun.
there,
though.
I'm scared.
Nah, don't be scared.
No?
If I could do it, anybody could do it. So, funny story. We're in the hospital room. We had my wife had my daughter. I don't know if it was right after people left or whatever. It was just the 2 of us. And my wife was like a nervous wreck. Pregnancy, everything. She was very good. I'm not sitting here bashing my wife. I'm not saying that at all. She was awesome.
You
But
would
she's like-
die if you did that.
Yeah, 100%.
murder.
You could tell I've been married. Sometime
Yes.
now. So we're just hanging out, and she gave birth at Lenox Hill, and she's like, "Can I ask you why you're not nervous?" I go, "Why am I not nervous?" I go, "Look out the window." I go, "Look at some of the people that have kids. If they could do it, I sure as hell could do a better job than them." She goes like this. She goes, "It's a good outlook." And I go, "It's just the way I look at it."
I got in some big trouble when my wife was giving birth to our son
Would you not
5
show
months
up?
ago. Oh no, I was.
Jesus
Jesus
Christ.
Christ. I had my TVT hat on.
Yeah,
So she's about to give birth. Things come down from the sky. Doctors are getting ready, dressed up. The delivering doctor looks over to my wife. She goes, "Hey, what's TVT?"
let me tell you.
Literally, she's about to fucking.
Funny thing you
tell you.
asked.
I got my card here. There you go.
I got into a conversation with one of the nurses. I was like, "Seriously? Now? Seriously?" I was like, "What?"
Every
She asked
time
me.
I got another kid, I gotta pay for this.
She asked me.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So-
my kids are great. My kids are
Yeah?
great. My wife is awesome. Yeah.
How awesome.
She puts up with me. That's how awesome.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah.
rough.
Yeah, that is.
We should have her on here. Talk
Especially
about
my Wall Street days. Yeah.
Yeah? how long you been married?
16 years come this September. 17 years. Sorry.
Whoa!
Whoa.
My
she-
God,
I got her. She doesn't even know our anniversary date, so I'm good.
you are brave, man.
Yeah,
Let me tell you.
She knows it. She's not. That's not like a hidden thing. We're good. We're good. Let's just put it this way: My brother-in-law is a sergeant in the NYPD. He worked downtown, and I was always in the World Financial. One night, my phone died. I think it died, or maybe I just wasn't answering it. Who knows? Probably said I was going to be home like around like 11 or 12. It was like 4. My brother-in-law was getting off his shift. He shows up at the restaurant I was at. Oh, it gets better. I was so drunk that when he came in, he's like, yo, what's up, guys? He knows all my friends and everything. He's like, yo, Rob, come on. You got to go. Your wife's calling me. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. Yo, I ran out the restaurant. I ran down the block. He's like, are you serious? I'm not chasing you.
You thought you were about to get arrested?
Yeah. No, I don't know.
I'm taking you in,
Probably
Edgemont.
just screwing around with him. I don't know, but he said it was the most annoying ride home with me ever. I was like going like this with his ear the whole way. He's like, why don't you just pass out? I was like, I didn't know I don't pass out.
It's because you probably haven't espresso martinis.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Yeah, nah, I'm sure I passed out at some point on the ride home, but I'm going to say for the good 35 minutes or so on the way home, I was pretty annoying, he said. So that's why my wife is amazing.
I think most wives, for putting up with us, deserve some type of credit. Not a lot of credit, some type of credit.
Yeah.
I mean, because they made a choice, right? Nobody forced them to marry us.
Yeah.
So
They did
what
say
it
yes.
is.
Which, by the way, she was late for my engagement. She was supposed to show up at a certain time, and she was an hour late.
I would have called it off.
Yeah, you know?
I would have walked out.
Yeah.
I can't deal with
Yeah,
lateness.
it was a Friday night, and I'm not the biggest emotion shower in public, you know. So like I was doing it at the house, and we lived in the city on Lexington between 37 and 38. So I had my doorman, and I knew what time he left, and I knew what time she was coming home. I'm like, yo, Al, just text me when she's coming in, and so I'm ready for her. I had the whole doorway like with roses, and I was gonna light candles. I had the whole living room rearranged, not like crazy, but I moved the coffee table out of the way. I had all the stuff. I was so nervous. I was the first one out of my friends to actually take the plunge. So I was talking to my brother-in-law, my wife's sister's husband, the same one that came to get me, who, by the way, Carl is a saint. And I'm calling him. I was like, yo, dude, I'm so nervous. He's like, he's like, I know you have alcohol in your house. I was like, yeah, in the freezer. He goes, go take a swig of vodka. I was like, all right. So I did. Now like another half hour goes by, and I'm like, yo, where is she? She's supposed to be here. So I call him. I'm like, yo, is this normal?
Did she know where she was going? Where was she
No.
What did she think?
I knew she's coming home on a Friday afternoon. I knew what time she left. If she took the subway, she'd be here in 7 minutes or something.
Yeah.
If she walked, it would take her a half hour. So I knew the time
Approximate.
frame. Yeah.
Second swig.
Yeah. Oh no, there was like 3 or 4. And so my doorman comes up, knocks on the door. So I think it's her. So I'm lighting all the candles. So I was like, and it's him. I was like, Al, what? He's like, dude, I'm leaving. He's like, my shift's over. I'm like, God, Christ. I was like, all right. I was like, can you stay around for like 10, 15 minutes? He's like, yeah, I'll just get my stuff and I'll just slowly. It usually takes me a little bit to get. I was like, all right, if she comes, just text me. All right. So he walks out. And she was walking in as he was walking out, so he was trying to call me from the payphone. But, you know, payphones, how long it takes to put the change in and dial it, you know. So she was already up there. So the door's opening.
Good job not dating yourself, by the way.
Yeah. The door's opening. The TV's on. I'm just sitting there thinking it's this guy Al again. And she's like, oh, what's all this? I was like, oh, you see, what?
Marry me?
She's like, what is this? I was like, well, you know, now I'm all flustered because I'm like half drunk. And I was like, I just show her the ring and she's like, aren't you going to ask me something? I was like, what? I was like, oh yeah, will you marry me? It was the worst thing ever. So just for that alone, you know.
What is it with them not just, side note?
Oh, she didn't say yes right away either.
What?
It was weird. Yeah. No. Not out of, like, it wasn't like she was waiting. It was like, she knew she was going to say yes. I think she thought she said yes. I'm like, yo, you going to answer me? She finally did, but it was the most awkward. It was probably only like 30 seconds, but it was definitely seemed like it was like 30 minutes.
Yeah, according to my wife, I never actually asked. I'm pretty sure I said it.
I didn't. I just showed her the ring. You want the...
The way I proposed to my wife, we did it like outside of my mother's house. My brother decorated like the whole thing in lights.
You're brave.
Yeah, but I had to take my wife to the mall that day to keep her out of the house and wait for it to get dark enough so the lights can actually be seen. And we were at the mall.
Let me guess. Every 5 minutes, she actually wanted to leave early, right?
Dude, she didn't want to eat. She didn't want to shop. She wanted to do nothing. So now I'm going into Macy's and Lord & Taylor, and I'm buying shit for myself that I have no interest in buying. No interest in buying.
Why are you buying underwear? I need more, right?
And I was
need
trying shit on.
You're trying underwear on?
She's like, not underwear, dick. But like, I had to kill time, and it was the worst.
Let me see how these socks look
It
with
was
these shoes.
And then so we were at the mall in Jersey. I forget the Garden State Mall.
Yeah.
And usually I drive when I go there. I
Do
drive
you know
there.
one thing about the Garden State Mall?
What?
What's the most annoying thing when you're a kid at the mall? You got to go to the end, make a U-turn, and come back, right?
Yeah.
Garden State Plaza.
It's a circle.
Yeah, well, triangle, but yeah.
Well, whatever.
It's
a
a
circle.
circle.
It just goes.
It's a circle.
But like driving back, I had to make her drive so I could text my brother. So I'm like, all right, I got a stomach ache. I don't think I could drive. She's like, you got a stomach ache? I'm like, yeah,
Yeah, I'm nervous.
I got a stomach ache. And then my brother's texting me. He's like, yeah, we're not ready yet. I'm like, fuck. I was like, then I go, oh, we got to stop by CVS. I got to buy body wash. She's like, you got to buy body wash? I didn't know what the fuck to make up. So I just kept just delaying and delaying. It was the most awkward day ever.
Yeah.
And I think, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure I said, will you marry me?
Yeah.
She claims I did not.
Yeah. No, I know I didn't. Aren't you going to ask me? Like, oh, yeah.
I like froze up. I had like a whole thing ready. Then Sandra's family came into town. I was trying to do it while they were actually here. So I
You did
had
it in front of them?
Yeah, it was on Christmas because we were because we had a pandemic wedding, so technically we were already married, but I wanted to actually do like a proper engagement before we had our real wedding. So I did it when her mother came to visit, and it was the first time I've actually met her in
Are
person.
you still nervous that she might say no?
No, not really. I don't know what the whole thing was. I just like had a whole thing in my head ready to go, and then I was down by the Christmas tree. I was about to just give a whole speech, and then it was pretty much just like ring.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Which is weird because you're usually very good at getting your thoughts out.
Yeah, usually. Yeah.
And you did it in front of people? I mean, you knew though, like you were already.
Yeah, we were already technically married.
I
So
would
I
have
was
just
like,
tossed it a ring, and be like, "So we good?"
Sandra wanted the proper way. So
yeah, I can't do stuff like that in front of people. It's,
No?
yeah, I don't know why.
Mm.
Maybe I'm close. Maybe I have some issues, some deep-seated issues.
I
Yeah,
think
but
you might.
can't, yeah.
I think you might.
And whatever you practice, where you think it's like 2-3 minutes, it always comes out in like 20 seconds flat.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're like, oh,
I had Oprah on the TV. She's like, "Why'd you have the TV on?" I was like, "Really? You come home an hour."
I was waiting for you.
So yeah, so she was getting her nails done. So the girl screwed up her nail, and then she's like, "Oh, I'll fix it. And she's like, "Yeah, take your time. Don't worry. I'm not in a rush." Like literally, this was. I was like, "Really? Of all days, you decide to, just take your time getting your nails done? Really?" She's like, "I didn't know."
That's the universe.
Yeah.
That's how the universe works. So you do something pretty cool now. You purchase distressed properties, fix them up, resell them. Can you tell us in a not boring way
Yeah.
about that?
Yeah. So, do you want me to dance while I do it so it's not boring? Or?
Sure.
Okay, cool.
Why not?
So when I was on Wall Street, I was getting bored. I was looking for something else. I had sent out a text to 20 people. I was like, "Hey, my contract's up on December 31st. This was like in August or September. And I was just looking for something else. I didn't know what else. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just knew I thought I wanted to get back into sales. I wasn't 100% sure. One person called me back. I mean, everybody got back to me via text, but literally before my phone hit the table, Mark Cox, the owner of My Home, literally called me back. And I was like, "Yo," in my head, I'm thinking, I just text you. Why can't you just text me back? So I was like, "Yo," he's like, "I want you." I'm like, "What do you mean you want me?" He's like, "I want you." I'm like, "You can't afford me," because I thought he had like a little rinky-dink shop. And he's like, "Have lunch with me. Let me tell you what I'm working on, and then see if it's worth it." So then over 3 months, we finally came to it. And so he has a proprietary technology that goes out across the United States and has the ability to locate properties that are, I say coming to the market, but they don't actually come to the market. They're foreclosures, they're bank-owned, they're REOs. Properties are selling at a 60% discount.
Okay.
We put guardrails on it, price, population of the area, bedrooms, bathrooms, different things like that. And then it sends out an offer as long as it matches our criteria. Automatically sends out an offer. I think it's like 5 or 10% below what they're offering. And offer, proof of funds. You guys would know better than I, but actually
Mhm.
goes out with an official offer so that they know it's official. And then our analysts get a spreadsheet of the offers that were made overnight or the day
That's pretty
prior. And they actually analyze the property, so it's not all technology that does it. Then we go in there once we find.
But it's still driven by analytics.
The property, the
Yeah.
search for the properties and
Right.
the location of the properties.
You didn't see that Matrix video he had
Yeah, I
going on
did see
last
that.
week?
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
what
I
the
did
heck
see
is
that.
this thing?
Yeah. Everybody thinks it's something like crazy, and it's just literally a computer that
It's
just.
crazy for us.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
no, it's crazy to me too.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, that's it. And he's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, okay. He's like, what'd you think? I'm like, I don't know. I thought there'd be a whole server room.
Excel spreadsheet.
So every day it locates 4,000-ish properties. We don't make offers on 4,000 properties, but that fit most of the criteria we look for. It finds about 4,000 properties a day.
A day?
Yeah.
That's
There's
crazy.
always
the
things-
math on that.
There's always things that fall off though, that
Yeah.
have it fall off that we don't make an offer because of it, like whether it's pricing or
Sure.
it falls within our range. Yeah, so once we find a property, analysts will analyze it, make sure that the comps are current. They'll do their own searches through the multi-state MLS. They'll find out that all the comps that the computer came up with
Yeah.
or saw are current and that it is. We don't buy land, we don't buy in flood zones, and we won't buy a property that's completely physically distressed. So it's got to be, something.
Cosmetic stuff that you.
Yeah, I mean, some of them are pretty bad, but, we'll fix it up.
How many do you guys rent a year?
Before COVID, it was over 20. Going into COVID, it died out big time. Last year, I think we did about 23, I want to say.
Okay.
And then this year, we're already on track to do way more than. I think we've done 10 or 15 so far.
Okay.
And
Probably
yeah,
finish the year with 30 or 40.
yeah. And the way we do it is we have, well, hopefully more because during the summer it's slower,
Mm-hmm.
and then coming into, I mean, you guys
Yeah.
know probably better than I do.
I'm familiar with the
Yeah,
trends.
you should be. We get hard money to come in. They lend us basically 90% of the money. But what we do is we get investors to come in and fill what I call the capital stack. It's essentially the cash to close. Acquisition that the hard money doesn't cover, closing costs, legal fees, and any carrying costs.
Okay.
And for that, we give them a 17.5% return, annualized return for what it should be a 12-month hold. Sometimes it's less, sometimes it's longer, but as long as they're in it, they're getting paid.
Very cool. And you
Yeah.
do multiple cities across the country.
Yeah, we focus on 38 cities,
Mhm.
but it's we're focused on maybe 5.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the computer's searching in 38, but we're really focused on 5. Pittsburgh, Detroit's a huge one just this year alone.
Detroit's crazy.
Yeah,
Real estate's
and everyone's like bashing it, but it's like one of the most up and coming real estate areas with what's his name, the Cleveland Cavs owner, Dan something.
Dan Gilbert?
Yeah. What he's doing in
Yeah.
Detroit and building it up, and the houses we're finding are more on the outskirts of Detroit. But yeah, I was at a party a couple weeks ago. He saw a posting that I put up that we closed on.
Yeah.
And he's like, Rob, I didn't know you were in Detroit. He's like, my whole business now is in Detroit. What he does is interior. He's a general contractor, and he does interior work for hotels. So when they want to turn over a floor, the whole hotel, whatever, he goes in there and does it. So he got with a group, I think, that owns multiple hotels in Detroit, and he was there for crazy amount of time. And he found an apartment, and I had a few drinks in me. I think he said for like $10,000. I'm pretty sure it was $10,000. An apartment for $10,000.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I
I was
remember.
like, is it nice? And he was like, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I remember looking before the pandemic. I was looking at real estate across the country, and Detroit was like you could buy like a 5-6 bedroom home for like absolutely nothing. It was crazy, and so one day you're gonna obviously make you could flip them, or you could just hold on to them, rent them out, and then make a huge return in the end. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Nothing like it.
Yeah. So he was saying, my wife's cousin was saying, he's like, I want to start. He's like, the real estate there is crazy. He's like, and the houses there are so nice. He's like, it's not even like they're run down.
Yeah.
Just nobody lives there anymore.
Interesting.
He's like, so I want to start buying properties, flipping them. He's like, and I also want to start ground up construction there. He's like, I have the guys, I have the team. I want to start doing it. He's like, if I can find more apartments for $10,000.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's unreal.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
cool, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, so
that
yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
boring at all.
I
It's a
have,
great job.
I've had new energy since I've, number one, started selling again, but then also this, I guess you could say. Even my wife just about a month ago said, she's like, you have a new energy to you. She's like, I don't know what it is. I was like, I love what I do again.
So that's actually a great segue into my next question. I got 2 more questions.
Will I wear
Is that
shorts?
okay, Ryan? It's fine with you? All right.
Sure.
I'm getting you to wear shorts.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
You'll see about
So I
that
saw
one.
this. I saw this on your Instagram, and I'm really curious what it means to you.
Yeah.
No matter how hard it gets, stick your chest out, keep your head up, and handle it.
Oh, yeah. It's a Tupac quote.
I know.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Handle your business, man. As
Yeah.
hard as it gets, just keep going. Just man up.
And you
Probably shouldn't say that these days. I'm sure some people might take offense to that, but
why?
when things get tough, just muscle through it, man.
You a big Tupac guy?
Yeah.
What's your favorite song?
Oof. Mom, what's it? What's the mama song? What's the mama? Now you
Dear Mama?
Yeah.
It's a good song.
Yeah. I told my mom when I got married, I was like, yo, can we play that for the wedding? She's like, let me listen to it. She goes, what do you call me, a crack whore? I'm like, it's the song. It's the best. I go, it's a song about his mother. Come on, man. It's a great song. So nixed it for the mother-son
Mother
dance.
son dance. What'd you
Yeah.
dance to instead?
Dear Mom. No, not Dear Mama. What's the Boys to Men song? I forget.
I don't know that one.
I'll get it. Probably like in 3 days I'll get it. But
Yeah, text me.
just like I got the Grand Concourse one.
Yes. Thank you. I'm still waiting for that one.
Yeah.
Last question. Call it the closeout question. Ready?
Yeah.
If you can give one piece of advice to your younger self,
Oof.
what would it be?
It's never as hard as you think it's going to be.
That's a lie.
No,
Just kidding.
It's whatever fear you have, whatever fear it is. I was just on a networking thing yesterday, and they said, what's one bucket list item that you've done that you would recommend to somebody else? And I said skydiving. Now, I'm not somebody who is fearful by nature. Like, I'm not saying I'm the bravest person in the world. That I'm
Yeah.
not saying, but I just don't build stuff up in my head. But going up in the plane, let me tell you something. I got a fear. Like, it was starting to hit me. Then they opened they call it the garage door.
Oof.
And, so I was probably the biggest guy in the plane, so I had to sit in the back.
You're probably the biggest guy in most rooms.
Yeah, it's funny. The guy who was on me, he's like, mate, you're probably twice my size. I'm gonna need your help when we land. I go, need my help. So anyway, when you stick your legs out, just the wind rushing by you, and then you're looking down. I think we're at like 10 or 15,000 feet. It kind of hits you. But he couldn't push me out because he was like 150 pounds. And I was 220 pounds. He's like, on the count of 3, I need you to pull yourself out. I swear to God, I go, pull myself out? What? So once I finally did it, and then we were out, I was like, oh, that was amazing. I was like, that was amazing. I was scared for nothing, but that was amazing. Then my brother found out that I did it, and he wanted to do it. So we went the next weekend. And then I did it like another time after that. But yeah, most things that you build up in your head are usually worse than what they really are. And it's not as bad as you think it is. Maybe I said it wrong with saying things aren't as hard as they usually are, because generally they're harder. But, the fears that you build up are not as bad.
And usually we're our own worst enemy when it comes to that.
Yeah. And that goes with the quote too. It's
100%.
like, stick your head up, shoulders back, chest out.
Gotta keep your head up.
Deal it.
Shoulders back, dude.
Sorry. Rob, thanks again, man.
Yeah, thanks
it was
for
awesome having you.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
Bud.
That's TVT News Podcast. We'll see you guys next time.